So Trump just destroyed my business, my small business. Trump announced his massive tax plan on items coming from other countries. He says that the countries are going to pay that. That's false. It's the person bringing it in. And I own a small business. I've been in operation since 2018. I've been incredibly successful, basically doubling my business every single year. And it's not a product that can be made here in the United States.
Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry, well...
Who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
He wants to answer other questions.
well, Congressman, if the exporters, dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they, if... I think what you're trying to get me to say...
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer it. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, reclaiming... Mr. Chairman, I asked reclaiming my time, so I'll ask one more time. Who pays tariffs?
Sir, the history would show that it is a complicated mix of who pays the tariffs over various times.
So that's exactly the problem. If your answer, and you are a very educated person, you have a very impressive bio, cannot answer the question who pays tariffs because you won't answer that, and you say it's a complicated issue. It's not complicated. Consumers pay Trump's tariff tax. That's the reality.
Hey guys, welcome back. Small business owners in the United States are affected by the Trump tariffs to a point that right now they might close down, especially the business owners who are reliant on the imports. They came out and expressed themselves because some of them knew that maybe the tariffs are going to make the economy of America great again, but right now the things are scrambling downwards. And during an oversight hearing, the Treasury Secretary was asked who pays the tariffs. He said that the question is too complicated that he cannot answer. So this is where America is right now. So guys, without further ado, let's dive in and check out what the small business owners had to say about this. Then I'll come back with my commentaries about it, and kindly give the video a thumbs up. Let's dive in.
Small businesses say they are being hurt by the Chinese tariffs, and some could be forced to shut down.
And many businesses are being helped.
Are you
Look at the
considering
automobile
tariff
business.
relief for small businesses?
Why do you always mention that, you pick up a couple of little businesses? What about the car business? They're going to make a fortune because of the tariffs. Do you know that the union, the head of the union, who was no fan of mine, Sean Fain, I guess his name is, right? He didn't endorse me. The Teamsters did. A lot of people did. A lot of unions did. But he didn't. He couldn't stand me. Now he's saying, wow, what's Trump's done for the automobile? I can't believe it. I assume he's going to probably now say the next thing he can say is, I endorse this guy. He's the greatest I've ever seen. He can't believe it's happened. He said, we've been waiting 40 years for somebody to do what Trump is doing. So why don't you mention the big car industry instead of mentioning somebody that's doing strollers?
Well, I'm just asking you about small businesses. Are there any discussions about giving any relief to small businesses?
They're not going to need it.
Okay.
They're going to make so much money.
Are these tariffs?
If you build your product here. Remember, there are no tariffs if you build your product here. It's very easy. It's very simple.
So Trump just destroyed my business, my small business. Trump announced his massive tax plan on items coming from other countries. He says that the countries are going to pay that. That's false. It's the person bringing it in. And I own a small business. I've been in operation since 2018. I've been incredibly successful, basically doubling my business every single year. And it's not a product that can be made here in the United States. But I've had a lot of people say, well, what about the tariffs before? Yeah, I didn't have any. That was 0% tariffs for me, 0% tax. He added 10% in February, then he added another 10% in March, and then yesterday he just announced an additional 34% on top of that. So for all products coming in from China, that is now 54%. So most retail goods, stores, products, there's about a 30 to 40% profit margin, okay? Profit margin. That profit margin, a lot of the times, it's not even a living wage, okay? But that 30 to 40% is how the people that own that business are able to like live. And then there's still other expenses on top of that. 54% tax is more than the profit that most retailers or business owners would make. Well, a 54% tax. And I'm just paying that money straight to Trump.
I feel like the past 24 hours has just been a complete nightmare. 104% on imports coming from China. 104%. And that means my small business that I put everything into is fucking done. I quit my corporate job about a year and a half ago to chase my dreams. I designed and launched a kids fitness brand, and it was going great. I paid fair wages. I built relationships. And then overnight, the cost just more than doubled. My margins were gone. You know, my business doesn't pay for a yacht or a private jet. It pays for our daughter's swim classes. It covers groceries. It helps with babysitters for date nights. This isn't just numbers on a policy sheet. It's real people, real jobs, real families. And now I'm back at square one. So wish me luck.
These tariffs that are happening right now, and the tariffs that are on Chinese goods, is absolutely gonna cripple our business. I run an e-commerce brand called Canyon Pickleball. We sell pickleball paddles, and we have tried to have our paddles made here in the United States, but the costs have been just too high. So we do manufacture in China, and it's really hard because we don't really know what that's going to look like for us now with these tariffs, right? The volatility of how the tariffs have increased, it's at 125% now for China. And so we have a shipment of inventory that's being completed right now, and our manufacturer just messaged us and was like, you know, what do you guys want to do? Because we have a lot of clients that are deciding not to move forward with their inventory orders because of the tariffs. And we are at a point where we have to continue this order because we need to sell these paddles. And it's just absolutely crippling for a business like ours because we're a small business. We're trying to get going. We're trying to ramp up. We want to do right. We want to produce here in the United States. The infrastructure is just not there for us to do it here. The price is just absorbently high. I don't even know if that was the right word. I probably said that wrong. But the prices are just too high. So we can't do it. And so quite frankly, I don't really know what we're going to do. I also just like, how are we supposed to plan our lives with our inventory and when we're purchasing? Because if the tariffs just go up and down and up and down, like we can't budget accordingly because we don't know how much we're going to need to spend for the inventory and for the tariff once it gets to customs. It just sucks, man. It really fucking sucks.
I have always gotten by. I've always figured it out. I trust that everything will work out how it's supposed to. So wish us luck. So I'm typically on here giving you a really cool demonstration of my really cool invention that stops babies from dropping and throwing their toys. I'm Beth. I am a 10-year Army veteran, United States citizen, United States small business owner. I have 5 employees, and I have my entire everything, my heart, my soul, my finances, my home, everything is invested into my business. I currently have 2 containers worth of Busy Baby products ready to ship from our factories to come to the US. However, after today's announcement and the impending 104% tariff, I am abandoning my products in China. I am leaving them there because I simply cannot afford to ship them here. Hopefully I can figure out a way to find customers in other countries. There's millions of babies in China, so maybe I can set up a store, an e-commerce store in China, and find some distributors in China to help me sell my products there. Because I've already paid for them. I've paid over $160,000 for these products to be made. And it's going to cost me more than that to get them here. And I had zero heads up, zero notice. I can't just come up with that money. I don't have that kind of money. And even if I did, it wouldn't make sense to have a business with those kinds of costs. I wish people would know. I wish Americans, government, everybody could know. I would 100% manufacture in the US if it was possible. We have a factory in Minnesota that tried for a year and a half to find a way to manufacture for us here in Minnesota. They used their own chemists to try to come up with material because food grade silicone, the main ingredient, the main material for our products, does not exist in the US. It is sourced in China, in Asia. So even if I could build a factory, which I have space, I have a 10,000 square foot open warehouse space right now that I could create my own factory. But I don't have the millions of dollars for the equipment, which I have to import from China because they are the experts at manufacturing and that's where the equipment comes from. I don't have the money to import the material that will also be tariffed and cause my products to be way more expensive than they are now. There's literally no way to do it. So I don't know what to do. And I'm terrified for my business, and I'm terrified for all the other small businesses in the United States right now because we don't know what to do. And we're invested in our businesses. My home, I could lose my home. And I don't understand it, and I don't know what to do. So today you don't get a fun video of me doing a demo of my cool baby products. You get to see the terrified me that doesn't know what to do. So, if you need cool baby products, we still have some. You can order on our TikTok shop, our website, Amazon. We still have some here. So if you want to order some, that'd be great. Tell your friends who have babies. That'd be great. It could help in the meantime.
Okay, I want to talk real quick about how Trump's tariffs are affecting real small businesses. Okay, I own my own store, my own small business, and I sell crystals, tea, magic-y herbs, art, bath and body, all sorts of stuff. I make my own natural stone jewelry over here. I had a order made up for things I needed to reorder. I needed new crystals, new incense, all this stuff. Everything has gone up in price since when I had put it in the cart. I haven't bought it yet. Everything has gone up in price by 20 to 30%, sometimes more depending on where it's coming from. And I already hear the right barking. Well, just buy American. Just get those supplies from America. Yeah. I can't order crystals, from America. Okay. I can. Look, I can. And I do often. But the people that I buy it from in America do not get them in America because America does not produce every type of crystal that we need, right? So even if it's an American company who are making these towers, right? They shape these towers, these moonstone towers. The moonstone does not come from America, okay? This had to be imported, okay? Most crystal factories are India, Brazil, China, Indonesia, all of them over there. So everything has gone up, astronomically. I make my own jewelry, right? I make my own jewelry, okay? But again, these stones do not come all from America, right? My materials, my wire that I use, the chains that I use, guess what? It doesn't come from America. I'm an American person making American-made jewelry, but the inputs do not all come from America because we don't have the infrastructure, simply. I'll give you another example. Everybody loves this incense, right? The Nag Champa. I carry quite a bit of it. I'm super duper out. I need to order. I usually have 12 different kinds of this. I need to reorder it. Guess what? It's made in India, okay? This is a tried and true, trusted brand. Everybody loves this incense. It's not overpowering, but it smells really good. Like, this is the gold standard for incense. It's made in India. Even if I import, or even if I'm buying it from an American company has imported it from India. Yeah. Here's another great example. I carry American-made tea, right? A great, awesome American maker makes this loose leaf tea that I carry in my store. Do we think that this package was made in America? I bet it wasn't. Everybody that is making American, that is an American business owner, relies on world trade to be successful. Bottom line, period. And I am terrified because I do not know what this means long term for my business. The price of everything will inevitably go up because the person who makes the tea now needs to cover their materials, which has gone up. I mean, it's such a slippery slope, and we are so fucking screwed. I have been in business a year and a half. I mean, longer. I have been a brick and mortar for a year and a half. I have been doing great business, but I have seen the trend of the economy and sales already. And now I'm like looking at what I can order, and my prices have gone up, and I'm like, what, how is this going to work out? Because I was doing fine, and now I don't know if I can cover those those margins to make it profitable so I can like feed my family. Yeah. So if you made it all the way through this video, I super appreciate it. Please support your small businesses in your town. And if you want to support mine, I'll tag it below. I would super appreciate it because I am scared right now. I'm scared about the future.
Well, the economy of America is getting expensive each and every day. You've heard from the small business owners themselves. They are so affected by the Trump tariffs. You know, some of the MAGA people actually knew that the tariffs are going to make America great again. That's why they voted for it. And now they are feeling the pinch. There is a video I watched about this man was a small business owner. He was a MAGA. He's affected by the Trump tariffs. His business has collapsed, and now he wants a place, a country where he can get cheap imports to the United States. But which country is he going to get the imports after voting for this? And he must pay for the tariffs because they knew that it's China which is paying the tariffs, not knowing that the Americans are the ones paying for all this. You know, right now, American citizens, some of them are being forced to work so many hours, 60, 70, even 80 hours a week for them to afford that life, for you to feed your family. Because how will you be able to pay for the bills? Will you be able to pay for the insurances if you don't have the business? You know, people have been reliant on the small businesses because first of all, they always want that business where they are not controlled by other people, where you control yourself. You go to work anytime you want, you come back home anytime you want. But working in those large corporations, you have to follow the rules, you have to follow the guidelines and be obedient. Yes, I know if you have a small business, you must be disciplined for you to run it so well. So people have been so reliant on it. They want that business for them to be able to own their own home. But now if the tariffs are affecting the small business owners, what if they closes down? Who are going to benefit more? The larger corporations are going to they're going to benefit more in the market because the supply chain will be benefiting them more than the business owners will be benefited. Tell me that if you want some of the maybe spare parts, where will you get them apart from the countries you are importing them from? Is United States going to give you the spare parts you are using in your business? And in an interview I was watching, that interview for Donald Trump, when he was being asked about the tariffs and how it's affecting the small business owners, I really don't know if the small business owners are selling the cars, and who will be buying those cars if they don't have that enough money in the United States. That's the question. Because there are some things that we just need to feel by ourselves instead of waiting other people to tell us about it, you know. So the business owners, I really feel for them because life in America is going to get so expensive. This is why I've seen some of the citizens relocating to other countries because they can't afford it. And some of the countries are really laughing at America because earlier on, America was at the top. People knew that America is the country where you can do good business, you can run that business, you can get that money easily. But now the value of dollar is decreasing. Not only in America, even in African countries, the value of the dollar is seriously decreasing. And again, the immigrants who are working in America tell me that immigrant labor right now it's not there. So there is also another video I watched about a small business owner. He said that right now he can't even afford paying his employees, so it forced him to tell the employees not to come to work because there is no money, there are no materials at the company. So his business, he closed it. This is the life in America right now. And what we can do, maybe you can start a garden, you can grow your vegetables, but it will take time for you to do this. And those who are living in apartments, there is no place where you can be growing your vegetables, anything you want. This is the life that Americans are living right now. I wish the president of America can think that the small business owners are the one that are making the country to be even better. They're like the backbone of this, because many a times in my lifetime I've heard politicians saying that small business owners are the backbone of the country, and right now if the tariffs are affecting them, are they still the backbone of the United States? Even in our country, I don't know if it's corruption in the government or what's really going on. I really don't understand, because these politicians actually need to come out and tell people the exact thing that is happening instead of benefiting and pocketing all this in their pockets, because the oligarch generation class has no loyalty to any country or nation state in this world. You have seen whatever is happening in the UK, in some of the European countries, in America, and even majority of the African countries. These oligarchs are running it, and even the central banks, they are benefiting from all this, and now the citizens are the ones who are suffering. And imagine, people are still coming out to support this man even after the tariffs are pinching them. They really don't care. They are still supporting him, that he wants to make America great again, because they want made in America. And like these goods which are made in America, they are even more expensive than the ones which are being imported to the United States. So I really don't know where America is headed to. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I honestly appreciate it. If you're a small business owner, let me know how you're affected by the tariffs. Until next time guys, see you on our next episode. Bye.